Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Osasu show being broadcast from my house. I am social distancing, as you should as well. Everyone should be in their houses right now, washing their hands, staying safe and staying away from people. Today's episode will be obviously covering the effects of the pandemic on our country, but most specifically on micro, small to medium scale businesses. Just 4 months ago, we were celebrating the new year with so much expectations and hope for 2020. Little did we know that a virus was on the loose in faraway China that would change the world as we know it. Today, over 185 countries have been infected with the coronavirus. While some have managed to flatten the infectious curve, countries like Nigeria, the United States of America, the United Kingdom continue to see a rise in the number of cases. On today's episode, we'll be looking at the negative ripple effect of the forced lockdown and the coronavirus pandemic on our economy. We'll be speaking to the Executive Governor of Abia State, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, who will be telling us what he is doing as the leader of West Africa's largest trade hub, Abia. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Osasu show. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Abia State, welcome to today's program.
Thank you for having me.
Your Excellency, many experts have shown worry for the social cohesion of not just developing countries like Nigeria, but world over post the COVID-19 era. What measures have you put in place in your state that can ease the economic burden of your citizens?
Well, thank you very much. The economic implications of this pandemic is universal, but we can find local or homemade solutions to some of them. Unfortunately, it is coming at a time that the price of the crude oil is also going down, and that has further compounded the economic woes of countries like Nigeria that depend on one product alone for their economy to thrive. However, I think that there are underlying opportunities also, and part of what I think we need to do is to quickly see how we can look inwards to begin to solve the problems that are posed by this pandemic using our small and medium scale industry. It would be nice if we can inject all the money available for masks to see how we can engage our artisans across Nigeria, especially in Abia State, to produce the face masks in millions so that Nigerians can use them. At the end of the day, what you notice is that a lot of money has been injected into the system, and then we also expect that the quality of their products will go up, and post-COVID, we will expect that Nigeria will become a net exporter of masks that are used in hospitals. The other thing I think we need to do is that we can support agriculture by ensuring also that the palliative as it is today is sourced locally. We can get states that are good in staples like rice and yam to produce them in huge quantities so that we can also support agriculture to the extent that of the post-COVID-19. But beyond that, there is enough opportunity for every state to scale down on this budget and try to come up with something that is more realistic. We can look at our recurrent expenditure once again. We can also look at some aspects of our capital expenditure, insisting on completing ongoing projects alone and probably slow down on embarking on fresh projects. At the time like this also, there is need for us to invest heavily in science and technology so that we can learn new ways of trading, new ways of manufacturing, and new ways of practicing agriculture. As I speak today, I'm aware of some estates that have come under this lockdown, and yet they get their daily supply through telephone, and somebody brings it to their doorstep. So there is need for us in Nigeria to create trading activities like Amazon. You don't need to go to the marketplace to get what you want, but it can come to you from wherever. So there's a huge array of opportunities that will come, but government must be willing to catalyze and support these opportunities so that the citizens can embrace it, and then we can become better and stronger post-COVID.
So, Your Excellency, this was, I believe this situation, these solutions that you've preferred right now can be implemented, but you also sit at a very strategic position right now, being the governor of Abia State, the commercial hub of West Africa. What are you doing particularly in Abia State right now to take advantage of this situation? I read on CNN recently that some Abba tailors have actually converted their factories into mask and other protective gear factories. What else have you put in place, and how do you believe that the state, as the commercial hub of West Africa, can benefit from this situation?
In Abia State, we have embarked on massive production of face masks, and as I speak, the use of face masks brought in from elsewhere, China or wherever, is not allowed in Abia. We do our face masks and we use them, and to make sure that our artisans understand what is said. Some of these face masks are used for medical purposes, and such face masks that are going into our hospitals, our isolation centers, are sterilized using ultraviolet rays. As I speak today, I am aware of at least one or two factories where face masks are manufactured in Abia that has gone at the insistence of government to procure ultraviolet ray facility to disinfect and make sure that the products are fit and proper for use in our hospitals and theaters and isolation centers. So we are capable of producing world-class personal protective equipment, which is what we require to manage COVID-19 patients in the various isolation centers. So we are self-sufficient in that, and we are prepared to also market to other parts of the country and Africa indeed. But beyond that, we are interested in looking at what the federal government is coming up with, because the big money must come from CBN or from an initiative at the federal level. My duty as government will be to ensure that I adopt and trickle it down to the artisans and the cooperative societies that will form the group that will eventually go into manufacturing of all of this at a large scale.
You see, the governor of Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, wrote a brilliant op-ed recently, and he was talking about restructuring the Nigerian society for a COVID-19 era. He talked about this as a brilliant opportunity for state governors, for legislators, for the executive arm of government to truly re-strategize and place Nigeria in the right path going forward. You've talked about the policies that the federal government need to adopt so it can trickle down to the states and then you can, work your way from there. But are there policies that you can definitely put in place today as a state governor to see that your people are no longer going to suffer the economic brunt of such a pandemic? Because realistically, this virus is going to live with us forever. It's here to stay. And there are going to be other viruses along the way. So what digital measures are you going to put in place across different sectors, in your agric, in your small to medium scale businesses, in your healthcare, to ensure that Abia's economy continues to thrive irrespective of the federal government?
I can see two of them. One is to run to agriculture in a massive way. We need to maintain agriculture. That is what we are going to be doing in Abia State. We are going to focus on oil palm. We are going to focus on cassava. We are going to focus on rice. We are also going to focus on cashew and cocoa. We must do everything to return attention back to our farm. We've been battling with solving our land holding system, which gives us much more land holdings in hamlets, which doesn't support mechanized agriculture on a large scale. But we are going to talk to our people so that people can come together, whether it's communities or whether it's local government, to provide the kind of land we need to do the kind of agriculture we need to do. Beyond that, post-COVID, we must also find a way to value chain. We were at the verge of establishing one cottage industry, agro-allied industry per local government. And we were pioneering with 4 local governments, and we were bringing in equipment from India to help us turn our oil palm at the village level to all kinds of products apart from palm oil alone. We were looking at palm kernel oil. We were looking at what to do with the hulls. We were looking at if we could produce foot mask from the fiber and all those kind of things. And we are also very, very keen about turning cassava to starch in agriculture at the large scale here, so that we can support the pharmaceutical industries providing raw material for the production of tablets. So first of all, agriculture needs to be mainstreamed in a more serious way, because it will employ a lot of people. It will provide raw material for secondary production of other products. So it's a win-win thing for us to go back to agriculture, and it has become a no option now.
Yes.
We don't have the choice of going away from agriculture. The other thing we need to do is to continue to do that if we don't have movement, which is to support our artisans and ensure that they scale up their manufacturing and move away from the use of bare hands to the use of pieces of equipment and science and technology in what they are doing. We also have a hub for innovation in Abia, which has about 150 young people innovating and doing things around what we can do to improve on how we trade, what we can do to improve even on how we educate ourselves.
Your Excellency, talk to me more about your telemedicine initiative, which you actually implemented in your state before the pandemic hit Nigeria. So how are you using that? How are you tying that into our national reality as of today with this COVID-19 keeping everyone in lockdown?
Yes, I was particularly excited when WHO announced that they discouraged patients from going to clinics just to overwhelm the medical infrastructure, that they preferred that they call, dial their doctor or dial the clinic to explain what was happening to them so that patients can be reached. And it was very pleasant to us, because we had already launched the Abia Telehealth Initiative and we are driving it deeper by the day. As I speak today, we are collaborating with GLOW, and we have kids in all our 722 primary health care centers on that platform, so that what a patient needs to do is just to either dial doctor direct, and you are talking to 12 doctors in vernacular or any language you choose at the call center, and they are on call 24 hours a day. Or you walk straight to the nearest primary health care center in your community, and we have trained hands equipped with PPE to attend to you and seek the support and advice of those 12 doctors in the call center using Skype. Decisions can be reached about either collection of samples, or if the patient is symptomatic, the patient can be picked, because we have 6 ambulances that are dedicated to this service across the state. So within 30 minutes, we are sure that we can reach every patient from everywhere in Abia State. It doesn't matter how far. And that has deepened our healthcare delivery system in Abia. We're excited that the telehealth initiative has come handy even at a time like this.
There was an alleged case of a gentleman who was showing symptoms of COVID-19, but he purportedly ran away from the isolation center. Is there any truth to this, and do you care to clear the air on this presumption made?
Yes, that is the second notorious individual or case we have handled. The first was a young man who goes by the name Miracle. He called to report himself that he was coughing and all of that, and we quickly intervened. People became very worried and apprehensive. We took samples, and the results returned negative. You know that even in this climate in this era of COVID-19, people can develop cough. Just cough the way we know it. Some people also can go down with malaria. I don't think that it's every fever you see is equivalent and equal to COVID-19. But the only way to know is to go and do the test. Yes, we tracked this candidate through Imo. He escaped to Obo and then returned, and somehow he was apprehended using tracker. And we have taken his sample. Presently, he is being quarantined, and we are waiting for the results to return.
Finally, Your Excellency, a group of lawyers in the United States, across the UK and even the EU have raised a class action lawsuit against China. President Trump has also gone forward to withdraw funding from the WHO, claiming that they weren't proactive in its measures of identifying and containing this virus. As the leader of the major trade hub in West Africa, and dare I say Africa at large, what actions do you believe that Nigeria should take to ensure that we are compensated for this pandemic?
Oh, yes. I think that our creditors, those that has lent us money in the past, and other countries and multilateral funding agencies that we are related with, are thinking seriously about debt relief, if possible forgiveness for developing countries, especially in Africa. I'm aware of the trade relationship between China and Nigeria, and I'm sure that our country will take the right steps to ensure that we do the needful and get the necessary support from this country. But I do not think that the way to go is to untwist, because every country is responsible for the health of our citizens. And when you talk about food security, there is yet another dimension in terms of health security. If you are a net importer of every drug, every vaccine, everything you need, including face masks, you cannot be sure of the security of your state. There are cyber wars, there are trade wars, there is also possibility of wars using microorganisms. So every country and every nation should be able to protect our citizens by making sure that that country is self-sufficient in a few things. So we do not have to depend on another country for all of the things we need to support our health. This is, for me, the new thinking post-COVID-19. If we have to buy all our paracetamol from outside, including our face mask from outside, it means that we run a risk of assimilating all kinds of things and poisoning even our citizens without knowing it. So there is need for us as a country to be self-sufficient not only in food production, but also in some basic medical supplies.
So, in summary, you're saying that we should seek debt relief as a solution to this global pandemic from China and other countries that Nigeria is owing.
Oh yes, because we are inching towards another recession, and then there is entirely going to be a new paradigm about how to live, how to do business, and how to even relate interpersonal relationships post-COVID-19. Question is, are we prepared for the new normal? What is going to become the new normal now? How the world will do their business, and for instance, we've been battling to talk to each other using this electronic device. We are not there yet. We are trying to make it happen. But in other places, these things can be taken for granted. They can do their businesses and do their office work at the comfort of their room. But if you don't have electricity, for instance, and then you don't have money for diesel, how do you factor that into your ability to now do the kind of things you need to do electronically? So there is need for us to seek for compensation, but there is need for us to retool our thinking as to what to do to keep pace with the world, because we cannot be in a position where the world will be dragging us.
Your Excellency, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the Osasu Show. We are wishing you and all the indigents of Abia State a safe, happy quarantine.
Thank you for having me. God bless.
God bless you too. That's it for today's episode of the Osasu Show. I am appealing to everybody watching this. Please stay home, stay safe so we can reopen our economy again and we can all go back to work as we know it. I want everyone to take this very seriously. I know a lot of people believe that it's a big man disease, but please do not be deceived by that. You can get this infection by handshake, by going to the barbing salon. I'm appalled by the amount of people that are still going to the barbing salon at this time. So I'm appealing to you, stay home, stay safe during this period, and continue, obviously, to watch the Osasu Show and follow news on sustainable development and current affairs across Africa on tostvnetwork.com. Follow us on social media at the Osasu Show, at TOS TV Network, at Osasu Igbenedion on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I will see you same time, same place in my home next week. And until then, take very good care of yourself. God bless you.